Okay, everyone, so welcome again to another one of our lessons here. And in this next section, I would want to go and introduce to you the use of Git, which is a version control system that you can use for managing and organizing your source code, which will also be very useful for collaboration with other developers, other members of your team. When you're already working in a company and you have a set of people that you will be collaborating with in building a certain project, this is going to be very useful and it will be helping you out in monitoring the changes that you've made in your projects. And you don't have to do the same thing that I did here. I just wanted to actually do this so at least you'll have some ideas that instead of you storing your work like the way I did it here, you will have a much easier way of storing all of your files in in your project. And rather than you making different versions of your project here in your local machine, you can go and place it in GitHub. If you remember, we created an account in GitHub, and this is one of the advantages of having a GitHub account. We can use it to store our projects and have a repository from where we can go and collaborate with other developers and have different versions of our projects. And we can also go and manage our projects together with other members of our team if we are going to be working with a set of people or different individuals that will be part of your team in your future companies. And again, Git will be allowing us to store different versions of our project, and you can save space in your local storage. Me, I usually do it this way. I like having different versions of my project, so at least I will be able to monitor and go back to a previous version if ever I wanted to go back to a previous version. I can easily go back to that and then work from there. Git will be allowing us to do this in a remote repository, which is in github.com. So this is where you can go and store your files, your project, and we can also use this to publish our work on the internet so that I believe this will be very useful, especially if you're testing out your websites and your projects and you would want to view it in different devices. And here you can also create GitHub pages that will be allowing you to go and publish your work that can be viewed by future employers. For example, you have a portfolio project that you've built. You can push your projects here in GitHub using Git, and you will be able to publish it as a website on the internet from where your future employers will be able to see it and you will be able to showcase your projects or the projects that you have built. And the good thing about this is that you won't need to pay for any hosting fee when you publish it or publish your projects in GitHub pages. So in the next lessons, we will learn about Git. And if we try to open up our command prompt here, you will know if in your computer Git is already installed, and that will be through typing Git here version, and you would see that I have Git installed in my local Windows machine here. And another way to check this will be to use the git status command. You would see that fatal not a Git repository or any of the parent directories .git. This just means that this is a computer from where Git is installed because it's showing us here that it's checking if this directory is a repository that we have for our projects. So in the next lessons, we will learn about the different Git commands that you can use for creating a repository, pushing, adding files to your repository in GitHub. So we'll learn about the different commands such as git version here. So git dash dash version is a way for us to check the version of the installed Git in your computer or in our computer. Here git status is actually a command that allows us to know the status of the working tree from where it checks the working directory and helps us see the files which are untracked by Git, staged or unstaged. So this will be showing you any difference in the currently and the head pointer of Git. So in the next lessons, I want to go and walk you through the basics of Git, because this is going to be useful information that you can use in your future development career. So that will be all for this introduction. I'm hoping that you're excited that we are now moving forward, and I want to not just focus on the coding part, but also learn some additional information that you might be able to use in your future careers as a web developer. So thank you everyone, and see you on our next lessons.